Welcome to self-care chat. I am in bed, trying to save my spoons for the rest of the day. It is 2:15, and I finally just took my medications for the day. And one of the reasons why I need a caretaker to help me get things going faster so I don't put things off, especially putting off my medications, my other ones. I had to take my second dose of pain meds for the day, and I'm just trying to rest up because I had a chiropractor again uh, this morning. I had another chiropractor. I had a chiropractor yesterday. He was not able to get everything in place. It was a S show. It was a sheet show. I did get some relief yesterday, but I did not get complete relief, and I'm still feeling the effects of the ligaments and tendons being in the spot. That is really uncomfortable. Just laying here right now, I still feel the little bit of dullness and spasm the from my bad adjustment, or yeah, basically a bad adjustment from a chiropractor. I got new soft tissue damage, not only in my tailbone from my fall last month, but from a chiropractor putting too much force into adjusting my middle back, and it really did a number on my upper back, on top of the tissue damage that I got from trying to stop my fall on my left shoulder. And so now I have just basically the entire left side of my body that's all jacked up again, on top of my my middle back, because of the chiropractor putting it, that he got what my other chiropractor couldn't get in. But upon discussing the chiropractic and my continuous care with my long-term chiropractor, I am not going to another chiropractor. I have been injured twice now by chiropractors, and I only trust the one that I go to. He's the right type of manipulation person, that with just enough touch, but just not too hard to make things go out, because it's a fine balance. And in all his years of experience, and he loves his job, um, he's learning about EDSers too. And with me being an EDSer, and my cousin, who also sees him, she's my age, uh, he knows that we're even more sensitive, but he knows how amazing I am at communicating what I am feeling, and the sensations that I'm feeling, and the connecting of the dots between the things that are out, and in the order that things go out, and how things go out. And I communicate all the information to him during my appointments. I discuss what went out first, when it went out, what I felt when, what I felt now, what happens when I stand, what positions aggravates it. We talk more than we really manipulate anything during my chiropractic appointments. It's really more homeopathic, naturopathic care than a run of the mill chiropractor. Any chiropractor I've ever been to in the past, and I've been to multiples because of all my car accidents. Um, but I've learned that this is the only chiropractor for me. I can't trust anybody else, and when he goes, I'm going to be devastated because I'm not going to find another like him ever, ever. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm probably going to outlive him. So um, I don't know what I'm going to do without him when he's gone. I can't even think about that now. I tried to, with his 1 month absence, I tried to find a replacement for when and there's no replacing him. There's no replacing my chiropractor. There's not. The work and the things that we have figured out about my body and my own personal chronic pain journey and my EDS journey is completely different from anybody else's. And everybody's journey is different, and there's so many different factors that factor into how treatment goes for somebody. And with my treatment, we're getting there little by little. I have some phone calls to make today. I really need to get into my paperwork, but it's also Friday. I've had a really, really triggering, stressful last 2 to 3 weeks, and what is the big hurry? I mean, besides, I really have to get into the urologist, but I'm still living. I'm still falling asleep. I'm still waking up every day, and yeah, some of the symptoms are very, very troublesome and worrying. Uh, I can only do so much, and I'm not going to push myself harder. All it does is get me sicker and in worse positions like this because I've been on the go for months now, it seems like, and that's cumulative. It adds up, um, and it snowballs down. When this one thing goes wrong, it's like, more things go wrong. But when things go right too, things are always like ting 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 ting, going right. Life is always going to be full of ups and downs, and it's how you respond to those ups and downs is what really matters. And I'm learning to just stay calm, stay calmer, work things at a pace that I'm more comfortable at, and I'm just more comfortable going slower than the norm, and that's okay. I've realized that about myself, and that's like the biggest self discovery in the world. It's just learning through experience, trial and error. My feet are freezing. Hey, it's 222. With my heating pad. That's a weighted heating pad. I got my little comfy slippers too on. And on top of that, I have some wool socks. And I'm wearing freaking jeans for once. So uncomfortable having to wear jeans. But I had gotten dressed, I got motivated, I got out of bed today just to get back into bed for a little while. I might even take a nap. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm going to get through my things one thing at a time and when I'm ready to. I really don't need to push myself really hard right now for that. It's been so hard to get just to this point to be able to relax because today's adjustment went so much better than yesterday's. I think I finally might have gotten it back in. It went out bad. It went really, really bad. 2 days ago? Yesterday, yeah, it went out yesterday. And there was just too much inflammation and too much raw injury for it to really want to move and go back in and relax. It wouldn't. It was just like, nope. We got a little bit of movement, and it was a miracle the movement that we did get with aligning my spine, so I could feel just fine. But yes, it is really painful, even the remnants of the adjustment and it going back in. If it went in all the way, I don't know if it really did. It doesn't feel like it right now, but I just took my meds, so now my meds should help, and I won't be able to feel it, and I'll really know for sure tomorrow. But it feels like it's still really unstable, and it can go out really easy, so I really do have to take it easy on adjustment days, and I have to hydrate as much as possible. I need to take another drink of water. Then my feet are cold. And I try not to move too fast and too out of place. My hair is a hot mess. I'm going to be taking a shower later just to warm up because of being cold. But I have to time it just right. And I think I'm going to do it after I take Stormi for a walk. Yeah, she heard that. She's like, walk? Yeah, she's waiting for me. She's been wanting my attention ever since I got home. And I've had to just do phone calls, and now I have to rest up so I can go on that walk with her. But I can't lay here too long because I may end up pulling my back out in bed, because that's usually when I pull it out, is when I'm in bed and when I'm in one position for too long. So, like, my chiropractor and I agree, it's a fine line between too much adjustment, not enough adjustment, and being able to maintain that adjustment in between appointments. So far, my pelvic bone does not stay in alignment. I don't even know what I was talking about now because I got interrupted. uh, uh, oh, my pelvic bone. Oh, yeah, that's right. The instability of my pelvic bone. I just popped my leg. I don't know if I popped it in or out, but now that's going to affect how I walk, and it's going to affect my ankles and my feet, and then they're going to go out. And I actually already feel in my thumb joint right here, just from my hip popping. Now I'm having referred pain in the opposite side of my body because all the nerves and everything's attached to the spine. I really would love to have an internal electric stimulator for nerves and stuff. Oh, yep, now I'm starting to feel pain in my freaking right hip and the bursitis area. I'm feeling it in my thumb joint and the opposite side of my body and the left. The body is like a zigzag, so it's trying to gain stability. Where it loses stability, it tries to gain it on the opposite side. So it makes sense with the way the patterns are going. But I just popped my hip out just by moving it. I am like one of those collapsible dolls from the 80s, or wood figures where you just like, you press down on the bottom and the whole thing just, yeah, that's me. And now I'm feeling pain in my trap behind my right shoulder blade. I'm getting a little bit of ear pain in the right ear, and all this just because my hip popped. Because I'm that unstable, and everything is connected to each other. And so when thing pops, it pulls everything else out. It's like, pop. Yep. Now I get to enjoy the whole weekend. Going out of place. I don't know what's going to go next, but I'm already feeling the referred pain in my thumb, in my ear, and my shoulder blade. It's crazy because it goes from right hip to like left thumb to right shoulder blade. Oh, now left rib. I feel a left rib feeling like pain, throbbing. It makes sense when you follow anatomy and how my fascia and my collagen and everything is all jacked up, and my connective tissue holds things in place. It doesn't hold things in place. It pulls things out. It sticks to it and it pulls it out of place. That's what happens. I need some WD-40. I need some lube. I'm too degenerative, and now I have lots of mechanical issues, and I have all this weird sensations that I feel when one thing goes out. Yeah, I'm feeling it in my fingertips and my right finger. I'm feeling some dull sensation pain right through here. As I'm feeling a sharp pain in my rib cage right here. And then I'm also feeling pain shooting down from here down to my knee. So now I'm feeling it in my right quad. Pain going down. Just move my upper back a little bit. What am I going to feel now? We'll see. But this is me talking through my pain. This is what cognitive behavior therapy does. You have to think about what is causing the pain. So, logically, what makes sense here? Oh, well, with what I've learned from my chiropractor, I definitely have instability. And that's the main driver to my pain. My instability and my mechanical problems. Not being able to move my body without injuring myself. So, now I'm laying here in more pain. I'm feeling it in various parts of my body. And so trying to get a caretaker assessment was so frustrating over this last week. It was so frustrating to try and explain, well, every day is different, every minute is different, every hour is different, because this is what it's like with my disability and stability. Now I have pain in 5 different body parts from one popping in my hip. And so right now, this week's instability is caused from my hip and my thing popping out instead of a rib. A rib didn't start it, my hip started it. So now it's documented. My hip started it. Now I know what to tell the chiropractor on Monday. What started it was my hip, and now I can recall because I have verbalized it out loud, and I can always watch the video again right before my appointment or on my way to my appointment, so I could tell my chiropractor, this is what happened. And this is the order of the sensations that I felt in these body parts within the first 5 minutes of some pop. Now I'm feeling more extreme pain, like up here in the sternum. Oh, my hand just popped. My hand just popped just now, like right through here. Just going like that, moving it, and yeah, my hand just popped. Now we'll see what other pains follow. It's a waiting game. I just don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what sensations are going to happen. And all I can do is document it and verbalize it through this video. Still feeling pain in my lower left rib cage. Just talking, laying here, doing nothing. What else am I feeling? My feet are really cold still, and I'm really trying to get them to warm up with the heat on my feet. So then it makes me more inclined to want to move. But what also it is doing at that very moment in time, if you really think about it, the muscles attached all the way, because muscles attached all along the spine, there's like thousands and thousands of attachments to the spine and nerves and stuff and fascia. And everything is crisscrossing and meshed into one, and with my connective tissue being faulty and holy, so things just kind of fall looser, easier. But that just means that things are more looser. That just means the nerves just grow and I have more nerve endings and way more sensations, I feel, to take the place of where those holes are in my connective tissue. So, I do get like weird sharp sensations in different parts of my feet, and it lines up with things with reflexology when I've looked that up. My symptoms are explainable. I can trace the roots of where things start, and then the blood supply and the blood vessels and the nerve vessels and all that stuff is involved. And then I have my autonomic dysfunction in my nervous system and in my immune system now dysfunctioning, because it's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I've fallen into the wrong spot. And it can happen just from me doing nothing and laying in bed, like it has been. Since I started recording this video, I've been sitting up off and on. But now I'm having pain in my like abdominal area. Like it feels like my stomach or intestine, kidney, liver, I don't know, something. It's underneath my rib cage now. It's not on, it's like the pain has now traveled down. So now I'm having like muscle and involvement and spasm down in my abdomen. Oh, but my medication is now also probably starting to take effect, so it's starting to stunt my vagus nerve, causing more gastroparesis, which is paralyzed stomach. For medical terminology, gastroparesis is a diagnosis for paralyzed stomach when it stops really digesting. It doesn't have like the right enzymes or thing. It just kind of, the vagus nerve is like stunted, and that's one of the main causes of gastroparesis is vagus nerve dysfunction. And then anything can damage the vagus nerve. Viruses, stress, immune system problems, medication. I have a combination of all of it. So, but in order to treat my pain, I can't take anything else. I can't take too much Tylenol. My body doesn't detox things very well because of the MTHFR mutation. And plus my Hashimoto's, my thyroid is very low functioning. It functions, but it's low functioning. Um, and my body just doesn't read things correctly. I have a lot of sensitivities, and there's a lot of medication. If I take it more than a day or two, I really get symptoms from that, including the pain medication. So that's why I have to take tolerance breaks in my pain medication as well. Um, and sometimes it's manageable. Sometimes I can't manage my pain without them. But I've gone years without pain medication too. So I know I can, but right now I have different circumstances on why I'm on the pain medication, and it's because of the extra soft tissue damage, and I'm feeling way more pain right now, as my body has muscle wasted a lot away since I had spinal cord surgery, and I never got proper rehab for it, which I explained to the caretaker assessment person. I just don't know if they're going to be able to grant me the hours that I need. I mean, or if any. I'm kind of nervous. I'm anxious about this assessment. I had to have 2 people assess me because the first one wasn't good enough. They couldn't determine hours by that first assessment, so then they had to go by a different assessment person, and then it's going to be ruled over by a judge by the state, and the state's going to figure out if I deserve a caretaker or any caretaker hours. I'm really on the edge of my seat over this, and I've been so triggered by all the questions that they had to ask, because it's really hard to accept when you're disabled and are asking for help. It feels really dehumanizing to me. I don't know. I just or it really it humanizes my diseases is, I guess, the proper. I'm dyslexic. Excuse my learning curve. Uh, I have that problem. I'm trying to work through it best I can. But I've experienced a lot of trauma with it too. And I've already forgot what I'm talking about because I'm so triggered. My brain just shuts down. My brain fight or flight response, I just shut down. And my brain just like brain fog, boom, lapse. Forgot what I was talking about. It's hard being chronically sick, and it's hard trying to show what it's like, but I'm still happy. I mean, no, seriously, I'm happy that I'm taking the time to learn this about myself and try to inspire others to do the same. Learn about yourself. Don't be afraid. Yeah, it's really hard and difficult, and some days are just not ideal, but it's okay. It's okay to have those days. Everybody has them, and nobody's perfect, and there's so many things that are at play that people don't think about, like, your body being in turmoil, whether you're using certain substances, whether your body can detox those substances, whether you're addicted to some kind of, like, either gambling habit or, anything to try and cope with whatever you're dealing with, whatever makes people not happy, to ultimately not be around anymore. I don't want to live miserably. I don't know anybody that wants to be miserable, but it seems like there are a lot of people living that way, and it seems like a lot of people don't have a good quality of life. I wished everybody had better quality of life. My quality of life is various every day. Hope I'm starting to get some neck pain. I'm getting more pain underneath my right shoulder blade as I talk and turn my head a little bit. But it also could be the topics I'm talking about. It's also starting to kind of stress me out physically. The stress of the trauma that I've experienced, and my body and brain trying to shut down and not talk about these things because it's hard. But I'm a determined mofo, and I want to be happy, and I don't want to be miserable, and I don't want to be triggered. I want to be able to cope, and I want to be able to have better coping mechanisms in place for when I do have issues. And I am doing better. But it's always going to be a struggle, and I will always struggle. And it's okay to struggle. And it's okay to ask for help. So please, if you are struggling, ask for help. The worst thing you can do is isolate and stay away from people because you're afraid you're a burden or you're going to lash out at them. And if that is the case, you really do need to seek help, and you really need to get into a situation where you are not able to harm yourself or others. So please, I know wintertime is some of the hardest times of the year because of being isolated and homebound. I've been homebound and disabled for quite a few many number of years, and I'm finally, more comfortable with being disabled in myself, but I still have a lot of acceptance. I still have a lot of grieving to do over what I need to learn to accept for myself. I'm always willing to grow and learn, though, and I'm not willing to say goodbye until I've touched enough people. And I don't know when that will be, but my work on earth is not done. And I feel like I just need to live till I'm 100. So, however much that takes, whatever it takes to get to that age of 100, I'm going to get there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep inspiring. And I'm going to keep one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, whatever it is. Keep at it. Love yourself and keep going, because life is not easy, but life is precious and short. And so please try not to stay miserable. Who wants to stay miserable? Be happy. Regardless of your situation, find something to be happy about. I'm happy to be alive.